Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am Laon here at Solutions with Laon. If you would like help with any services, please check out the description box below. There is a link for my website, solutionscoaching.org, for one-on-one services. And I have an announcement. I have a new coaching package, which is group coaching. It's a VIP masterclass, pretty much. We meet every single week at 7:30 p.m. EST time, and you have access to a group forum on my website where we can all talk as the members of the group back and forth throughout, the week when we aren't in our 90-minute coaching session. So if you would like to sign up for that, check out the website, and you just sign up, you pay, and then you have access to the group chat on my website, access to weekly group sessions on Zoom, and then you also have access to 10% off any one-on-one coaching services. So let's dive into today's topic. We are all about investing our thoughts and not spending them. So I'm going to dive into inner conversations and mental diet and how important it is, so then we can invest our thoughts and not spend them on things that we don't want and worry and doubt. Okay, so I do also have the lecture at the end of the video that I'm going to share with you of Neville Goddard talking about investing your thoughts and not spending your thoughts. So first off, let's talk about the fact that a little bit of everyone is you pushed out. What that means is that everyone is alive inside of you. So when you have inner arguments, or if you have doubts and worries, or fear of the unknown, questioning what your person is doing, questioning if you're going to get the job, questioning if you're good enough for X, Y, and Z, all of that gets pushed out into your reality, and you start experiencing more reasons to doubt, to worry, and to not feel good enough, or to not be appreciated, loved, or valued. Okay, so now that we understand that everyone is you pushed out, that means everyone is one within you, that you have access to talk to them. So the way that we invest our thoughts is having positive thinking, having positive inner conversations, positive feelings. And by feelings, I mean not your emotions, but the feeling state. Okay? So when we have these inner conversations, we can do it with our specific person, our boss, our parents, whoever is a part of our reality. We can have inner conversations to help manifest them, or to use conversations with them to manifest other things. Okay, so I'm going to give an example, well, a few examples, but the first one I'm going to give is with your specific person. You can sit there and get into a meditative state. This is the best to make sure that you suppress your subconscious mind and really start evoking the feeling as if you are experiencing it in this present moment now, because you are. Every time that you go within, you're experiencing it now, because your imagination is what creates. And your imagination is more real than this physical 3D reality. So we are in a meditative state. We relax. We take a couple breaths in and out. Really feel our body just relax. And then we decide, let's talk to our SP. And you might not hear their voice clearly, but it is that knowing that you are talking to them that will impress. And as you talk to them, if you are aware of it or not, it is creating pictures in your mind, or you can intentionally create pictures, and that also impresses into your mind, which then will manifest. So we are relaxed, we're in a meditative state, and we're deciding to talk to our specific person. And we hear them say, I love you. You are absolutely amazing. You are doing everything perfect. You are manifesting me with ease. You make it look so easy. And I love everything about you. And then, just like in a normal conversation, you respond back with what you would want to say to them. Like, thank you for appreciating me. Thank you for making me feel so loved. I love our conversations. Thank you for always having my back and supporting me on this journey. I know that I am manifesting you, the best version of you. I absolutely love who you are now. You treat me with so much respect. I love it. Thank you. And you go back and forth in this conversation. You want to kind of stay in the same category of what you guys are talking about. If you're trying to manifest them back, hear them say to you what you need them to say. You can hear them apologize. You can hear them say that they love you and value you and you can't function without you. And then you respond back of how amazing that feels to you. And then if you want to also talk to, say, a future boss you're trying to get a job, you can have a conversation with this boss, and you don't have to know their voice, just have the knowing that this is who you're talking to. And you could hear them say, you got the job. You are perfect for this position. I love you. I love to have you as an employee. You are hired right now because you are just amazing. It's mind-blowing how perfect you are for this position. And then respond back, thank you. This is my dream job. This is the job I've always wanted. I love it. Thank you for hiring me. Do this with every area of your life. You can also use inner conversations to revise things from your childhood or revise things with your specific person. That is just as powerful as well. And with the inner conversations, you use it for the things that you are currently manifesting, and just have that appreciation or hear your person congratulate you, whoever you are talking to. And as you do these conversations, you will get into the feeling state. You'll have that satisfactory feeling like, wow, I really just experienced getting the job, or I just experienced my partner showering me with love and affection and telling me things I've always wanted to hear from them. And as you do this, you'll notice that your person will actually, or whoever you are talking to, will actually chime in and tell you throughout the day. They'll catch your thoughts with you. So that's where the mental diet part comes in. We want to observe our thoughts throughout the day. We don't just go into SATs and visualize or do our imaginal acts once and then just let our mind run wild. The inner conversations help to maintain the state throughout the day, so then it stays in alignment with that end desire, that end visualization or imaginal act. So when we are going on throughout our day, and as we practice talking to, we'll say, our specific person, you'll notice that they start chiming in more throughout the day without you consciously having to sit down and do it. You'll notice that they're catching your doubts and tell you, like, babe, you got nothing to worry about. I'm here with you now. Or catching, if you're starting to argue with, them, they'll be like, no, like, that's not me. Stop holding me in that version of myself. I am now this. I love you. I am there for you. Things like that. It will start showing up in your mind automatically. They will back you up and support you and guide you throughout your day and be there with you. And it will start making you feel so much closer to them. And at first you might start feeling a little crazy because you think that you're talking to yourself. And it's not like that. You are never alone. They were always alive inside of you. You just focused on what you didn't want of them. So now you're focusing on what you do want from them, the things that you wanted to hear from them. So don't think that you're crazy. You are not. But as you go on throughout your day and you're observing your thoughts, they are helping you catch your thoughts and those doubts and those worries and those questions. They reassure you. And it just becomes a little bit easier to invest your thoughts in what you do want. So then you can experience your manifestation in all of this internal world. Once you start focusing on things that you do want, gets pushed out. They will start reflecting back these inner conversations to you. Or your 3D will catch up if you're trying to get a job. That job will come to you. Everything will start changing because now you are in a different state that is aligned to your end desire. So it's an amazing technique to use. And it's a good way to invest your thoughts and have a clean, clear mental diet, because that is how we manifest. We don't want any double-mindedness, because to shift into the state that we do want, we must kill off the old man, the old state, as Neville says. Kill it off to where it doesn't even exist in your awareness anymore. The only thing that is saturated in your subconscious, in your awareness, is what you do want, with your specific person, with your parents, with any part of the things that you are manifesting. You saturate your mind with it. And a good way to do that is through the inner conversations, in addition to your imaginal acts, if it's scripting, if it's affirming, or if it's visualizing. This is just a good tool to have to maintain that state throughout the day when you aren't doing these other techniques. So that is the way that you can invest your thoughts and not spend them, because when you are spending your thoughts, you are focusing on what you don't want. And when you focus on what you don't want, you can't manifest what you do want. So we'll dive into Neville's lecture, where he really deep dives into investing your thoughts and not spending your thoughts. This is a very, very crucial part and fundamental part to manifesting, because our thoughts have to be in alignment with our state. That way we can embody the state fully of what we do want. So thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you. If you want to check out my new group coaching service, or do one-on-one group coaching, one-on-one coaching, not group coaching, please check out the drop box below. And as always, guys, you got this.
Must be an investment. So if you're riding on the streetcar, you're riding on a bus, don't idle the time. Close your eyes to the obvious. It's not altogether attractive. And carry on your inner dialogue. And invest that time. By the time you get to your destination, you've invested wisely between getting on the bus and getting off, if it's only 20 blocks away. And you spent that in a very wise manner. And you've actually used the coin of heaven. He gave you the coin of heaven. Before you judge it, try it. May I tell you, if you try it wisely and really believe in it, it'll prove itself in the testing. And then it doesn't really matter what others will say. You have found that it works. You have the evidence to support it. So it doesn't really matter what the world will say if you try to open up some conversation with a friend or a total stranger. Concerning this, they might laugh at you, but it doesn't really matter. You remain unshaken. I have had moments when you are in a party and you do not know the people, and something leads from this to that, and suddenly you find yourself breaking into a conversation of this nature. And they become indifferent and they turn their back and go elsewhere. Perfectly all right. I'm not offended. When it happens that way, it doesn't really matter. One night, many years ago, he's now gone from this world. You might know him by his reputation. Walter Damrosch. He was a great musician. And I met him at the Harvard Club in New York City. And this friend of mine introduced me to him, and introduced me as a great metaphysician, which is silly. I never identify myself with metaphysics at all, although the word is very good. But Damrosch said to me, and what school is your background? Germanic school, or the French school of metaphysics, or what school of metaphysics? And I said, none. It's only my own visions. Well, Damrosch just simply with it, turned around and walked away. Completely, ignored me completely from that moment on. He had to have some school, recognized school, the Germanic school. If I could say it, well, I studied the Germanic concept of metaphysics, or the French concept, or the English concept. No, I said I have no background of that nature. It's only what I have actually experienced. I'm talking about my own personal experience. And Damrosch turned around and off he went. And that was his meeting with me for just one short little moment. Now he is gone, and my friend who introduced me to him, he is gone too from this world. And there is no transforming power in death. As we are, so we are there. None whatsoever. If I'm a thief here, I'm a thief there. If I'm stupid here, I'm just as stupid there. And so if I'm looking for some background of the Germanic background, I'm looking for it there too. And you'll go blindly by, and he'll walk by, and no one will recognize him. He is bringing light into the world. He came into the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came to his own, and his own knew him not. They turned their backs upon him as he comes into the world and tells of the world, how it's brought into being through the Word of God. Then he tells you that you are God and asks you to imitate God as dear children. Well, if God did it this way, and I must imitate him as a dear child, tell me exactly how he did it. For we are told, through faith we understand that the worlds were created by the Word of God, so that things that are seen were made out of things which do not appear. Is that how it's done? It does not yet appear what we shall be, all right? But I will assume that I am what I would like to be, and it has not yet appeared. Is that how he did it? Yes. He calls the thing that isn't seen as though it were, and the unseen becomes seen. Well, now I'll do the same thing if I must imitate him as a dear child. So it is not yet real in my world that I am the man that I like to be. Well, I will dare to assume that I am, and to prove it, I will carry on this inner dialogue with a circle of friends that would know it when it happens. But I'll carry it on not as something to be, something that is already. So I'll carry it on from the premise of the wish fulfilled, and sleep in that assumption just as though it were true, and see how it works. Then it works. And when it happens, it all happens in such a marvelous way that you think it would have happened anyway. It always works that way. It is so simple, and the ways are so perfect that when it happens, you're inclined to say to yourself, and your friends will convince you, well, you know, it would have happened anyway. You see how it happened? Look, you met so-and-so, and so-and-so introduced you to so-and-so, and through these introductions, it happened. Now, would I have met this one, and would he have introduced me to that one, and therefore would it have happened had I not preceded the entire meetings by my assumption? And of course, then they have the big question mark. Well, it would have happened anyway. And many a person will say that, because when it happens, it always happens so naturally. Even if it comes suddenly, it is still in a natural way that it happens. Nothing comes out of the clouds and drops into your lap a huge bag of money. No, if it happens, it's going to happen naturally. Even though it surprises your friends and surprises you, it's going to happen in a very normal, natural manner. So I appeal to you to use your time and your thoughts wisely by investing them rather than spending them. And you can start now, this very moment, to invest your time, invest your thought. And in the not distant future, you'll get the fruit of the investment. For to invest is to expect returns on your equity. And you have equity in the ability to think, and to think in terms of images, think in terms of thoughts. And you have time. So you can actually take it now and invest it. So tonight, take me seriously and go out determined to prove or disprove what I've told you. I ask you to try it. You will not in eternity disprove it, may I tell you? For I'm telling you what I know from experience. I am not theorizing. This is fact. And therefore not a thing in this world can stop you from becoming what you want to be, but yourself. If you allow a seeming object in the world, called another, to argue out of this concept, all well and good. It's entirely up to you. If you believe that there's evil in the world, you've got to fight the evil, and join this, and join that, and join the other, all entirely up to you. If instead of fighting the evil, you choose the good, instead of cursing states, you choose the blessing, and choose life instead of death, all right, then you go about your own business, investing your time, investing your thought, and investing your money. rather than spending these things in the world. For all these joiners are only spending. That's all they're doing. And they're the ones who get all the publicity in the paper. And the paper, from beginning to end, is based upon a negative state.